Hey guys, PepperAmmy here, and this week we are taking a look at focaccia bread. Now this is a really simple and great tasting bread, and for this recipe all you will need is 500 grams of flour, 7 grams of yeast, 2 tablespoons of fine salt, 5 tablespoons of oil, preferably olive oil, plus more for the pan and serving, some fresh rosemary, and some extra salt, preferably flaky sea salt. Now start by adding the flour to the mixing bowl and add the yeast to one side and the salt to the opposite side. Now doing this will stop the salt killing the yeast before you've had a good chance to combine everything together. And then make a well in the middle of the flour and add 2 tablespoons of oil, and then whilst mixing slowly pour in 350 ml of warm but not hot water. You may need to add more water, you may need less water depending on your flour. Now once the dough is combined, you should have a slightly sticky ball that you can tip out onto a lightly floured worktop and knead for 5 to 10 minutes. Now you want it to get to the point where the dough is soft and less sticky and does not rip when you try to pick it up and stretch it. Now place the dough in a clean bowl and cover with a tea towel, or like I did, use a Pyrex dish with a lid. This works well especially on hot days, it stops the dough drying out too much. And now you want to leave that until it is doubled in size for around an hour. Then once your dough has nicely proven, we'll oil a baking tin, preferably a rectangle one for the iconic shape of it. And then place your dough in it and stretch it out to fill the tin, including all of the corners, and then cover and let prove again for 30 to 40 minutes. Now if you don't have a rectangle baking tin, what I have done in before is split the dough in half and prove them in ice cream tubs, of all things, and then just stretch them out into a rectangular shape on the baking tray for the second proof. Now once your dough has had its second proof, preheat your oven to 220°C or 200°C if it's fan assist, and then gently poke holes in the dough either with your finger or with a plastic handle of a fork, making sure not to push all the way through. And then either brush or drizzle over 1 to 2 tablespoons of oil and sprinkle with some extra flaky salt, or just granulated salt works fine, but flaky salt is more aesthetically pleasing to the final product. And then also, if you do want a more even covering, you can do what I'm doing and just use a pastry brush and mix the oil and the salt together, and then just give it a good brush on the surface, and then sprinkle over some fresh rosemary leaves. Now bake for 20 minutes until golden brown on top, and then you can either drizzle or brush on more oil. Now you can eat this hot or wait for it to cool down and enjoy. I personally serve this with some amazing homemade spaghetti bolognese, which could possibly be in a future video. Only time will tell with my upload schedule. But anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I hope you will try to make this amazing bread. It is so simple and such an amazing bread, and it tastes so good, homemade, fresh, straight out the oven. But anyway guys, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next week.